Hi guys, how's it going, and welcome back to another video on the channel. And today we are going to be reviewing Cheltenham's 2-0 win at home to Shrewsbury, and it's nice to be finally reviewing another win. It's been a while since I've done a match review actually, so I can only apologise. I have been a bit busy, but I thought do one for this game, especially as we won. Kind of put me in good spirits, and yeah, just dive into some of the kind of key factors and incidents, if you like, during today's game. At the time of filming this, of course, you will be seeing this on the Sunday, so it will be yesterday for you guys. I'm going to get straight into it, no more waffling. I think first half, I think, to be perfectly honest, it wasn't great. We probably were a better team, but like I said on the vlog, we were the less worse out of two very, very bad sides. I think Shrewsbury, across the 90 minutes, were very poor. I think up until Sean Long's goal, yeah, we weren't great ourselves. I think it was a very cagey game. I think the best way to kind of describe it was a bit like a game of chess. It was very, very slow moving. I think both teams were being very cautious. Of course, you know, Shrewsbury missing a lot of players through injury or coming back from injury or whatever reason, and of course us just in general, you know, we haven't had the best start to the season, so it's completely understandable. But I think the Sean Long goal was massive, because not only is that going to be massive for his confidence going into future games, but also who knows what would have happened in the game if we hadn't have scored. Because, you know, yes, Shrewsbury looked the same as they did in the first half in the second, but Steve Cottrell might have tried to set up different going into the second. Of course, it was, you know, in the last 2 minutes or so of the first half, the Sean Long goal. But let's talk about that. So, of course, came in from the wing and was a bit of a soft goal, really. I think Shrewsbury probably would have wanted to defend it a bit better. It bounced around a bit. Sean Long managed to get his foot to it and put it in the back of the net. I think the keeper was a bit slow on his line, but a goal is a goal. And I think, like I say, it's massive for Sean Long's confidence, and hopefully he can continue that, because I think in previous games he hasn't been too bad. He's definitely improved from where he was. You know, not to say that was hard. The bar was very low, but I think he's definitely making improvements game by game. Second half, it was a lot more free-flowing, I think, but still we were by far the better side. And once again, that doesn't mean we were good. That just means we were the least worst out of two very bad sides, like I've said. But of course, 46th minute, it took about 1 minute for Alfie May to score, and what a finish it was, by the way. I don't think the vlog did it justice too much, but what a finish it was. It came in, I believe, from Ryan Jackson on the right hand side, and Alfie May hit it first time. The power, the height, it was awkward for the keeper. He was never stopping that. What a finish from Alfie. And, you know, once again, hopefully that now Alfie's going to continue to score goals. Of course, I'd say up until the Cambridge game where he got his record goal, I think he'd been a bit weighed down by the pressure. He'd been a bit contained, if you like, by that sort of you know, the record, the big occasion playing on his mind a bit. And I think now the goals are starting to come again, and that goal today was a goal of confidence. You know, to hit it first time with the power that he put behind it, he's definitely regaining some form of confidence, which is great to see. However, we now do need to talk about his injury. So, if you didn't see my tweet and you didn't watch the vlog, I'll leave a link in the description and go and watch it. But I did mention how the whole format of the injury, because I saw a lot of fans on Twitter, rightfully so, being a bit angry about Wade Elliott not subbing him off because he had been limping for about 5 minutes prior to when he went down holding his ankle. The 5 minutes before had been cramp. He had cramp, and usually, you know, a coach asks a player if they need to come off, but evidently he didn't need to come off, it was only cramp. And then the words I've been told by one of the physios, I'm not going to name names, but the words I've been told by one of the physios is, when Alfie went down, he felt his ankle pop, which obviously is never good. And the reason they stretchered him off is because they didn't want to mess about on the pitch. They wanted to take him, you know, into the dressing room and you know, get a good look at him. He's been putting weight on his ankle. He's been walking. it's promising early signs. Of course, it's never good when a player gets stretchered off. You always fear the worst. But in this scenario, I think he will be out. I think he will be out for some time. I can't see him playing against Bolton on Tuesday, even if he is fit, just purely because of the risk. I don't think Wade is going to be prepared to risk it. But fingers crossed, it's no more than 1 or 2 weeks. But if Alfie did feel a pop in his ankle and it is bad, worrying stuff. But we are now going to go and head over to SofaScore to dive into some of the more detailed stats. I've just given my opinion on the game as it is so far, but let's get into the more juicy stats. So just a quick roundup really. As you can tell, here are the patterns of play. Shrewsbury having very little. Of course, in some areas we had next to none, but you can tell that it was a bit of a dead game, like I say, very slow moving. You've got about a 10-15 minute period here where neither side was attacking full stop. But the larger spikes of attacks were for us. Man of the match, according to SofaScore ratings, Caleb Taylor. I thought he was fantastic today. I would have actually said Freeston had a better performance, I think. But of course, in the Twitter voting, Alfie May got the man of the match for Cheltenham. Of course, the goal scorer. Sean Long on a 7.1, very promising signs. Of course, that's a big improvement on previous games. Liam Sercombe, I thought, had another very good game today. Very, very positive going forward. And Ryan Jackson, he is improving game by game, and he's evidently loving his time here. But yeah, he's really, really settling in nicely, it's fair to say. Shrewsbury, as you can tell, struggled. I think Taylor Moore's been very hard done by with a 6.6 here. I was saying earlier how, obviously, Shrewsbury lost 2-0. There's not going to be too many great performances, but the one player that did stick out to me was Taylor Moore, so I think a 6.6 rating is probably a bit unfair. Shea Dunkley with 6.7, Elliot Bennett with a 7.1, not going to talk about him, and Luke Lay, who I believe was rumoured to sign for us at some stage, got a 7.4, their highest rated player, but I don't really remember him doing too much, I'll be perfectly honest with you. Let's look at these stats then. So, Shrewsbury on the whole having more possession but doing nothing with it. Wow. 90 minutes, not one shot on target. Not good signs for Shrewsbury, but 2 goals from 3 shots on target is not bad at all. Positive signs. These stats read it in the loudest way possible, I think. But yeah, so in summary, I think it was a massive 3 points, but I think there's definitely room for improvement still on the performance. But the main thing is, 3 points, we're up to 17th in the league, I believe. We've got a game in hand on the relegation zone teams. Big 3 points, but fingers crossed we can improve. And fingers crossed Alfie May's injury isn't too serious. But yeah, feel free to get your thoughts on the game down below, whether you're a Cheltenham fan or a Shrewsbury fan. It's always nice to hear your guys' thoughts on the game. But yeah, thank you very much for watching once again. Please do smash like and subscribe if you did enjoy. Have a class rest of the day, and I will see you on Tuesday for Bolton at home.